I think, for every stage that I've come into in life, I have been responsible to a certain segment. I think, again, that this goes right back to what you asked before. Who are your mentors and what gives you the basis or the foundational, framework for where you go in life. I do believe that wherever you find yourself, whether in the private sector, which I've been in at fairly high levels, or in the public sector, where I am today, you are responsible to the polity in your area or in your country, either in your area of expertise in the private sector or in your country as a whole, as it is now in the public sector. And it is the belief that we can leave this place better than we met it, and better for all Nigerians, not just a little clique of Nigerians. That we can open up sectors like the oil and gas industry and allow so many more Nigerians to come in and benefit from the natural resource that runs under their feet, and that the entire economy and people's individual lives and the lives of communities round and about this country can be changed completely from their involvement in a sector which hitherto was a great mystery to all. I do believe that it is that innate belief that you have been given a responsibility not to be taken lightly, and a responsibility that can impact positively on the lives of so many Nigerians. That is what drives me every day. This is a most challenging sector for anybody, talk less of for a woman, in a man's world. But every day I face this work with a certain gusto and passion. And I am not feeble about it. Neither am I shaken by the vagaries and the viciousness that surrounds, this sector, surrounds our economy, and surrounds the politics of Nigeria. And it is incredibly vicious. But instead of turning around and being equally vicious, I put the energy into the sector, that I run. And I do feel that we've done pretty well. We have created and ensured that on our own, we hit back at major issues such as the subsidy fraud that was perpetuated mainly 2011, early 2012. In 2011 November, I, with one signature of the pen, cut off 92 marketers, throughput marketers, from our PPPRA scheme, that's a PMS, scheme, because we believed that in that group were the round trippers, and those who were causing problems for us. We did not have direct proof at the time. I'd asked for help from security agencies. While that was going on, we removed them from there. And it has remained so up till now. And immediately, the level of subsidies dropped by almost 50%. Now, these are things that people don't talk about, even though you say it over and over again. We went for complete deregulation shortly after that, in January of 2012. The opposition hit back very hard on us and rallied, the polity against us. These were the areas where massive corruption was being carried out. Subsidy fraud, we dealt with immediately. The deregulation, we tried to, deal with. It was pushed back. So, like I said, it's a very vicious sector to be in, because you try to make major moves to actually make it more transparent and make it more responsible, such as the PIB, such as deregulation, complete subsidy deregulation, such as cutting out a whole tranche of marketers under whom we believed, illicit or illegal acts are being carried out. And there's major pushback at you. And yet, the same people pushing back at you are the same ones to shout out corruption loudest against you than anybody else. So it's really an unfortunate situation in Nigeria, you know. But I do believe that we have a saying that those who have ears to hear, you know, let them hear. Those who have eyes to see, you know, should be seeing by now, you know. It is not necessarily those who shout out loudest. In fact, they say empty barrels make the most noise. There are a lot of people who are diligently working for the country, no matter what is said. And I always tell people, check your facts. Go and look at the facts very carefully.
Interesting times, you would say. For
very interesting times in Nigeria.
It's great to see the different dimensions and how things play out, and of course the people that influence these changes as well. And I'm going to just move very slightly now, and I want to talk about your fashion sense. Because you've been very, on a lighter note now, of course, you're also very known for having an impeccable fashion sense, particularly also because you showcase Africa and what we've got to the international community. How, as your role as the Minister of Petroleum, which you're also doing, how does that tie in with your fashion sense as well? Is that conscious?
Well, on that side, I must say that I had never set out to be, you know, a fashion icon of any sort whatsoever. But I did believe coming into a public sector leadership position, as I did with my first position as Minister of Transportation, that when you represent your country, you represent it in all ramifications. And as an African woman from a rich cultural heritage and background, I felt that it was necessary, in a very pleasurable way, to showcase our vast African resources in the area of our